Well, hey there, Magic fans. We're back. We got our last box of draft boosters, and it's very interesting. Um, just to throw that out there. So, without further ado, don't forget, welcome to the channel. This is your captain speaking here on Captain Clyde's MTG. We're going to go over our last case of draft, and then we're done with your mom. Dun dun. Anyway, getting ready to fire up some Aftermath boosters after this. But what I found really interesting about this is it was actually very... It kind of went the way I thought it would, even though I didn't think it would. Does that make sense? Of course not. So let's talk about it. So, without further ado, just so you guys know, here are all the cards that we got. Obviously, a lot less than the collector boosters and all other shenanigans we got going on. But anyway, we have all our rares, which we obviously... anything above $2 was wrote down, and then all other ones were averaged out at $1 a piece. So we have a pretty good amount of rares. We did end up with some foil rares that were halfway decent. The only ones really worth anything was like the Drana. That's a mythic. How'd that end up in there? We have our Segovia. And that was really about it as far as rares that were worth a little extra. But we only ended up getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 foil rares. So that was very interesting. Now, in Mythics, we actually did get quite a few. And we got some good ones, I'm not going to lie. Lots of Wrens. You know, tons of Elspeth. There's Jenny Boy. You know, Elish Norn, Shieldred, like lots of good hits. There was a lot. And when it came to Mythics, we actually got quite a few foil Mythics. We got a Chandra, a Wrenn, and a Tarkir. All very good foil hits for the set. So I was really happy about that. So then we get into the Multiversal Legends or Universes Beyond Legend, whatever you want to call the damn things. These are the Mythics. There was average around like 8 to 10 rares per box, sometimes foil, sometimes not. But because of their price on TCG Mid being under $1 or around $1, I just put them all in for $1 regardless of what they were. Gave them a flat rate of $10, basically for every box. I did count though to make sure there were at least 10, and there was at least 10, if not more, in every box. So it was kind of interesting. And then with that, we have some Mythics. We ended up with an Azuri, which is awful. We did get a Praetor's Voice. We got Elish Norn, Urbras. We did get a Ragavan. Excuse me, I just ate. Kroxa. You know, Blight Dragon, a Whispering One. We got a lot of variety this time. In the first one, we hit a lot of these that were like the Grand Cenobite, Elish Norn, Blight Dragons. We got a lot of variety this time, and that's okay. However, because of that, the value was a little lower because the first couple boxes had so much value here, it was honestly insane. The first time we did draft boxes. But that's neither here nor there. So, what does that mean for the actual set as far as value? Well, let's talk about that. So we're going to get out the handy dandy notebook. Down here in blue, yes, my black pen ran out, so it made it easy to tell them apart. Down here in blue were the actual draft boxes. So we had a 119, 138, a 67. Yes, that is correct, 67. I checked twice. It was a god-awful box. 142, 82, 143. Now, with that said, that gave us an average of 115 per draft box, which is actually pretty good. Now, if you go to sell, you're going to lose like 20% for shipping and selling fees and what have you. So it's going to be less than $100, so you don't make any money. But I think you get close to breaking even, which is pretty good because it's better than the other things that we had. And I just think that's amazing. And here's why. If you look up here, you know, we have the mom set box. It came up to 117. Draft was 115. That's a $2 difference for a box that costs $10 to $15 more, sometimes $20. And if we look at previous draft, Where'd I put him at? Give me 1 second, guys. Let me find him. Don't remember where I put it. But anyway, I think it was right here. Nope, that's the list. Man, where did I put him? Well, anyway, we'll figure it out later, I guess. I'll start thumbing through this thing. Anyhow, I find it very weird that the average box is 148, 117, 115. This means that the draft boosters have better value. End of story, hands down, in this. And remind you, the first time I did these draft, it's hard to believe I lost them. Sorry about that, guys. I'm really bad at what I do. I'm a professional, I swear. Anyway. What that means, though, is even previous draft boosters was a little better than this, but not that bad. They were around, if I remember from the video, 120-ish, 115. So the draft value hasn't really changed. The only thing that's really changed is the fact that these are just not as good. And they were done at a higher mark at the time. So when the market was a little higher, now the market's down. It's a lot, they'll say different to talk about. But anyway. So that's really crazy. In my personal opinion, if you want to buy stuff for this set, you want draft boosters, hands down, no questions asked. And I'm kind of sad I don't have any more draft boosters left. But they were just better to open. So I wanted to open them. I mean, if they go on sale, which I'm not saying they will, but I think that this might not go over well. This might be something to invest in for later in draft boosters. Not set, not collectors, but draft only. And that kind of makes me sad on the inside. I really hope Aftermath is not like this. I mean, we've seen the cards, right? But it's really going to be when you open the box, how it feels, price, market, yada, 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 on what it's going to really be, what the value is really going to be like. And this, for me, is not a good set. I think this would have been third in a row for Wizards if they'd got their head out of their butts and had the game on a good uphill swing. The cards are good and how the gameplay will be fine, but the set itself, box value, and what to buy is awful. You should only buy draft and nothing else, and that's going to be the biggest downfall to this set. I know that may sound weird, but trust me, the one thing you don't want is for the draft boosters of a set to be the best thing the set has to offer. When you have set boosters and collector boosters, that's just awful, because even the serialized cards aren't commanding the high price that the Brothers War cards are, and that says a lot. So, okay, now with that being said, granted, a lot of them did get pretty high. We talked about the Ragavan being $6,500 for being number one and yada, 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 but at the end of the day, there's so many serialized cards that I think there's not enough of them to be hard to get to make them want to be high priced. And not that they need to be over $1,000, but like when you get around the $300 to $400, $200 range, when you get a special card, and that's the highest it is, that's not good, especially when you're dropping like $1,200, $1,300 on 6 boxes to get back one card for $200. That's just not cool. And the reason I say that, it would be cool if the other cards in the set held a lot of value, but because of the way the collector boosters open, they didn't hold a lot of value, which was what was really bad. Like Brothers War Collector was phenomenal, and I don't know what else to say. So, with that said, not a fan of the set as far as opening. I definitely suggest you guys buy singles. Let somebody else take the risk, because it's not worth it on your time. If you want to open anything, get draft, have draft. have a draft night, have fun. But at the end of the day, if you're not buying draft, you shouldn't buy this at all. Personal opinion, it is what it is. Wizards, get your head out of your butt. You've already made Aftermath. I hope to God you didn't screw it up like you did this. So at the end of the day, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I do appreciate it. Until next time, be kind. Hope to see you guys across from the game table later, players. It's just painful.